This is my third visit to this nice country and the second visit as a researcher. I have been here in 2014 in Saloniki, participating in the conference. Yes. I decided, I am not a scholar of the events which took place 100 years ago. I am mostly a researcher on the memory issues, remembrance issues. So that's why I decided to I have chosen the following theme: to remember or to forget in quotations, the difficult past, a view from Yerevan. Why I took this title? Because of the issues which you Pontian Greeks have during this last century. So it was, as much as I learned, there were decades when there was, you were told not to speak on the genocide issue. It was, how to say, not so much allowed, or that is why, as if difficult past, let us move forward, not to talk more about the past, etc., etc. So that's why I decided to share our experience. So,
as you should.
Yes, how it happened in Armenia. First 50 years we also were not allowed to speak about the Armenian genocide, because it was at least from the mid of 1920s to mid of 1950s, epoch of Stalinism, totalitarian regime. And if you were speaking about Armenian-Turkish relations or genocide or about the Armenian massacres, you were qualified as nationalist and either sent to Siberia, either to jail, either just shot.
In an exile.
Exile, yes. Siberia, I mean exile. So that's why only when Khrushchev thaw began, people began more free talk about the genocide. But anyway, the most free, we began to write, to speak, to discuss after gaining independence, or at the last years of the Gorbachev, Perestroika and Glasnost time. So we also have that issue of the remembrance of difficult past. Soviet power was suggesting us to remember not the struggle, but about the loss only. And it is not good to feel yourself only and only victim. Yes, we are victims, as you are victims, but also when it was possible, we were struggling. We were defending ourselves. Self-defense battles, at least at 8-10 large cities, settlements took place in hundreds of villages. People were defending themselves several hours, 1-2 days. But it is very important to stress on that issue in order to overcome the victimhood stereotype. I came to the institute, Museum Institute, with that idea to suggest some changes, because 100 years it's quite a lot of time, and the memory is not a static one. Memory changes. So I think that, especially if we want to have a deal also with young men, to share with them the remembrance, the memory of the genocide, we need to suggest to them also some positive elements. Positive elements, I mean, to stress not only on the victimhood, but also what to remember. To remember, for example, help during the genocide, help when solidarity, yes. Grandfather to his son or grandson. So just issues which were very, how to say, excuse me?
That are bounding people together.
Yes, just helping loving,
And caring for each other.
caring for each other, yes. So these are positive elements. Why to speak only about if how many thousand were killed here or there? But let us speak also about other issues.
Are your aspects manifested in what you're trying to do at the museum, which is one of the biggest ones or the biggest one?
It is the only one.
only one.
Yes, we have a smaller museum in Los Angeles, Arat Eskican Museum, Museum of Orphans in Beirut, but the museum which will cover the whole story from beginning to end and on several thousand square meters, it is the only one. So, but it is hard to make changes. It needs time. It needs changing stereotypes is very hard. So, I suppose I need some time. Also, I will be criticized, and I am criticized. But
Oh, that is okay.
yes, I hope.
The matter of genocide is huge. It has a lot of aspects, wrongdoings on all sides, so it's better to state everything in order to move forward, as you say.
And I'm an anthropologist. I have a deal with people. And historians have a deal with documents only. Documents, books, then documents. So it's other. You need to understand what feel and how do feel people. Do they want changes? Do they have other views, other aspects? Maybe they are interested more. So you need to catch and to suggest maybe some other aspects.